Alright, so if you've seen my videos before, you would know that I highly recommend the Numark DJ2GO2 Touch to anyone that plans on DJing with the iPad. I think it's a must-have, and there'll be a link down below to get one for the cheapest price. So we're talking about the Numark DJ2GO2 Touch. I'm going to show you what every button, every knob, and every hidden feature does. First of all, how do we plug this into our iPad, and how do we get it all set up? All you're going to need is one of these, which is a USB-C adapter, and then the controller comes with this wire. It's a small USB going into a regular USB. Plug it in there, plug it into the iPad. Boom, it's set up. You don't have to do anything in the settings. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to plug it into the wall. It is powered through the battery on your iPad. And then the best part about this controller is it has a built-in sound card, unlike the Hercules controller, which is a Bluetooth controller. So you could plug your main output here, and then we could plug our headphones right into here. So I'm going to go from right to left just to make it a little bit easier. On the right here, we have a small tempo slider. It is not that big and it's not that precise. The longer your throw is on these tempo sliders, the more precise tempo you will get. So if you plan on doing manual beat matching, it might be hard, although it is a really nice smooth slider and it has a lot of tension, so you could get pretty close for the size of it. But if you want to get the exact BPM, I would just press sync once, and then your BPMs will be matched, and then you could turn off sync. All right, let's move over. You get a play button. It's plastic. It lights up green, and then it stays green when you have a song playing, and then it blinks when there is no song playing. These are not RGB. You cannot change these colors, so the color is what you get. Next is a temporary cue button. Wherever you set that, that will be your cue button. Next, we have a sync button, which I think is going to be used a lot with this controller because it is hard to do manual beat matching with it, and it's just a standard sync button. Now, the thing that makes this controller stand out is these jog wheels. So if you touch the top, they will scratch just like on CDJs, and then if you move the side of the jog wheel, it'll just speed up and slow down the track. So if you've seen DJs, when they're mixing, kind of spinning these, when they're not scratching, that's what they're doing. They're speeding up the tempo and slowing down. And it's amazing how they were able to fit this technology into such small jog wheels. I love the metal on top, and these jog wheels work really well. There is not that much surface area, so you don't have to move it that much to actually move it that much, but they work amazing. Next, we have our cue level. This is going to be the volume that you hear through your headphones when you're queuing songs up. Next to that, this is our volume slider. I know most DJs are used to having real volume sliders, but they didn't have room to fit it in, so it might be a little bit hard to get used to, but this is how you fade in, fade out your volume. And then I'm just going to skip a little bit. It's the same thing on the other side. These two black knobs do the same thing. They're the volume for each deck. And then we have our music selector. So all you have to do is turn it, or you could push it in, and now you could go through your playlist, select the song, and either load it into 1 or 2. That's what these buttons do. You could load it into deck 2, or you could load it into deck 1. So it makes picking your music really easy. The Hercules one has no library select button. You have to do it all on the iPad. So with this controller, you could actually not use the iPad if you don't want to. Next, we have over here, this is a headphone button. This is the first thing that I would map as something else. You could watch one of these videos to see how to map this controller. But what this does is, if it's pressed in, the output will be on this side. If you press the other one, the output will be on the other side. Now we have the pad modes. They were able to put 4 pads on this controller on each side, and then you can control what they do with this middle button here. There is no shift button on this controller. Some controllers have a shift button and you can do various things, like this one has a shift button. So it's going to start you at cues. These are for your hot cues. if you have cues set, they will light up in red. And then if you take away the cues, they will not be lit up. So you can see by the lights if you have cues already set up. And they look nice. I wish you were able to change the color like on other controllers, but this one doesn't have that feature. Next, we have auto loops. These are going to set, the one is going to be a one beat loop, 2 beat, 4 beat, and then 8 beat. So it goes up, it doubles. Next is going to be manual loops. You could start a loop and then stop a loop by using these pads. And then next we have the sampler. So we can control our sampler with these pads. And overall, you could DJ a professional DJ gig. You could DJ professional sets with this controller. It has everything that you need. And then if you upgrade to a bigger controller, you could always have this as a backup or as a secondary controller. So watch one of these videos where I compare this controller to the Hercules DJ Control Mix so you guys could decide which one is right for you.